Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about the potential of 9th edition coming in the summer of 2020. So let's jump in and let's get talking. Now before we jump in feet first, I just want to go over the information I received before this, which more or less makes me believe this guy. Of course, as always I state, you can't believe anything until GW posts it themselves, but I just want to give you a bit of background on this source. So I'm going to refer to him/her as Alfarius, just so it goes smoothly. So Alfarius contacted me around the 16th of October, and this wasn't in regards to the Psychic Awakenings. This wasn't in regards to the 9th edition stuff, it was in regards to the Psychic Awakening stuff. And he said, "You're probably not going to believe me, but the next Psychic Awakening book is called Faith and Fury, featuring Templars, but there's no new models for them." And he went on to say, as a Chaos player, he finds that very disappointing, as the Templars are one of the best loyalist chapters. So I was like, okay, that's cool. The thing is, when I get sent information and stuff, I have to process it and wait to see if it happens so I can really trust the source, because the amount of information I get sent, the amount of mad theories and everything like that, I can't really just jump on. So I waited a little bit, and of course, once everything got announced for Faith and Fury, I was like, okay, this guy knows his stuff, he's on it. And then we got talking a little bit more, and of course that led to the discussion of popping up of 9th edition, and he stated that 9th edition is supposed to be coming in the summer 2020, and along with 9th edition there's going to be a box set released, and that is going to be featuring Marines and Necrons. Now, for those of you who are not aware, when it comes to new editions, everything like that, they always put a box set out, 2 armies featured in it, they put the rulebook in there. Normally it's really great savings. The Dark Imperium box was great savings because you got Death Guard armor, and you got the starting of the Primaris force, which they put out in that edition as well. So I personally thought that one was a really good savings. I think it was £95 from GW. Of course, if you use third-party retail sites and stuff, I think you got it in the £70 bracket and stuff like that. So apparently Necrons and Space Marines are going to be in that box set. I can't really say no to Marines as an Imperial fan. Of course, more Marines the better. But I'm sure there's people out there who say, how dare they? How dare they? Can't they change for Marines or do anything for Marines? If it's true, then I really, from GW standpoint, why would they change for Marines? Because Marines is their best-selling armor. So it makes sense to put their best-selling armor in a box set, because that's more or less guaranteed that box set will sell for people who just want to get that faction and maybe split it with a friend and force their friends to play Necrons. Of course, I asked him, how certain is this? Is it dead certain? Is it just like the rumors he's hearing from his Alpha Legion source and stuff like that? And he said he's pretty certain that summer 2020 will be 9th edition. He also added that the actual quote is, "I wouldn't expect it to be like 8th edition, more like AOS 2.0, where all the books stay current with the exception of the main rulebook, which they fine-tune." Now, I've never played AOS at all. I don't know what AOS 2.0 is. I don't know what AOS 1.0 is or anything like that. So if anyone can give me a bit more knowledge on that whole kind of situation, from reading that and what that sounds like, it's basically they're just going to fix some of the holes in the actual main rulebook, plug it up, make it look prettier, and then just call it 9th edition. So maybe not a massive sway away from the current rule set at the moment. Also, just another thing why I trust this guy pretty much is that he actually called the Slave to Darkness as well. And if you're checking out today, then some of the price lists have come out about Slave of Darkness. That is AOS. That's why I never really posted it on my channel or anything like that, since I'm not really into AOS. But he did confirm that Slave to Darkness book is going to be coming by the end of the year, and that is definitely on the card. So again, this is 2 times this guy has been right. So the more I hear the talk of 9th edition from him, the more I'm actually trusting him on the actual subject itself. Now, I know I spoke about this the other night on my stream, but I just want to go over it real quickly. If this does happen in the summer 2020 and 9th edition does drop, the way I see Psychic Awakening working now, and the way they're doing it for us, is basically they're kind of stringing us along by giving us mini codexes. And I don't mean like supplement mini codexes. I mean like every faction is got to get love when it comes to the Psychic Awakening. They've confirmed that themselves, that, you know, every faction will get some kind of rules, maybe a model here and there for your faction, the ones who need it and stuff. Maybe that's what they're doing now, all next year in 2020, leading up to the 9th edition launch, that the rules and the models that are going to be coming out are going to be related to the Psychic Awakening. So when 9th edition does drop, that's when they can start putting out the new codexes for all the factions once again. Now, actually, on the subject of 8th edition itself, I'm more or less a narrative player. I go in for the fun, you know, the social aspects and stuff, playing with friends and stuff like that. I am nowhere in the competitive camp. I'm not one of those players, so you'll probably have maybe a different view on this than me. But 8th edition at the moment, I think it's a pretty cool edition. I like it. I think it's easy to go with. I think it's easy to play with. It's fun. It's fast. I don't really have a problem with it. Of course, there is some aspects of it where it is kind of crappy. Like melee, I think is not very warranted. Depending on the armies that you're playing, like Templars and stuff. Whereas if you're playing Space Marines now, you're more or less, I will say, I'll hold my hands up, you are kind of like a Tau army of all the gun lines you can make, especially Imperial Fists with, like, you know, the Heavy Doctrine, Stalker Bolters, Heavy Laser Destroyers. There's really no point in me getting into that melee kind of stuff and punching people in the face, because at the end of the day, I'm going to do more damage, more destruction, just sitting back and just purging you from a distance. So yes, I personally think that in some areas of 8th edition, they could improve it. I know one of the things that I was talking about with a friend the other day when I was playing tabletop is that whoever more or less goes first, well, the games that we've played in our narrative games, more or less wins, because the amount of firepower you can put out now, especially with the new Space Marine stuff, the amount of firepower and damage you can do, Stalker Bolters damage and stuff like the extra AP, you know, like stuff like the Heavy Laser Destroyer. I'm just absolutely destroying things. I can take out tanks, armies, and, you know, it's just massively destructive if you get that first turn going against a friend. Alright, Chaperoonios, that is me done for another video, only a short one today. I just wanted to pass this information along. As I've stated, don't believe anything until GW puts it out themselves. When it comes to this guy and me trusting this guy, I trust him because the stuff that he's told me so far has all happened. So I've got really nothing in my mind to doubt him or say anything bad about him or anything like that. So yeah, you know who you are, mate. You're probably watching this video, and thank you for the information. Really do appreciate it. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback on this. Are you a fan of 8th edition? Do you hate 8th edition? I know there's people out there that hate 8th edition. That's fine. I know people love it. You know, people hate things. It's just the way people are. You know, it's just as long as we respect each other and we don't start calling each other because we like something or we hate something, then I don't really see the problem. But I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback on the whole 9th edition. What would you like change in 9th? That's probably a better subject to talk about in the comment section. If anything that could be changed from 8th edition, what would you like in the 9th edition if it did happen in summer 2020? Right, that is me done. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Leave your thoughts, feedbacks in the comments down below, and we'll have a nice little discussion down there. See you now, and bye-bye.